So you're new to Davinci Resolve and you want to add some text. Alright, let us get straight to the point. I have my clip here and of course an awesome clip. Let me add some text. Firstly, I will reduce the size of this and we go to effects. Now you're going to see text. You have a lot of options because in DaVinci there are some effects you can do. But for here, we're just going to stick to simple text. And we're going to clip the end to the end of our footage. The first thing is you can edit the text itself, or you can edit the font by, going to the font family option and choosing what you want. You have font face because in each font family, you can edit the font face. You can edit the actual text itself in the rich text attribute. Now you have option of playing around with the tracking. You can see what that does. Also, if you edit something and want to reset it, just double click the attribute because sometimes you might play around and want to take it back to the default setting. You also have the font case. You can change it to all caps and it will make everything all caps irrespective of what you did in the text. You have underline, over, slash, cut, everything you want right here. It's quite beautiful for most use cases. I have our stroke and you can also change the color. You have a drop shadow. To really see it, you can edit the offset in the X and Y axis. You can see that. And you have a background. By default, the height is 0. But once I increase it, voila! You can see that we have something beautiful to work with. Now, you have our corner radius. You can actually make it square by reducing it, or you can increase it, but that will make it more curved. To reset it, just double click the attribute and we're going to be set to the default value. Now, you can actually shift the position of the text. Let's say you want to, adjust where the text is going to be on the screen. You edit the X and the Y axis. And of course, you can always go back to your size to edit the text size. Now, that is for text. If you're not satisfied, we have text plus, an addition to what we saw in text. So we can even do more awesome stuff here. Like before, we can change the text, we can change the font. You can also change the color. You can change the size. But when you go down, you're like, why aren't there much options here? Actually, if you go up, you will see some tabs with options you can select. So like here we have our layout and you have rotation. You can rotate on the X axis. You can see what that does. Isn't that awesome? You have rotation on the Y axis as well. Now you have transform tab and you have so many things. You have share, which kind of slants this like italics. And then we have our shading. You can play with a lot here. So you can play with the appearance of this actual text. And this text is in layers, so you can change the appearance of a particular layer. To change the layer, just go here. We're in layer 1 at the moment, and let's go to layer 2 and enable it. It's in red, so I want to change it to something more friendly. I don't want that red. Let us change the appearance to this. So we have the original text layer above, and we have this blue layer behind it. So you can give it a name and whatever. You can go to a third layer and activate it and give it an appearance. So you can see a third layer under the second layer. I can, make it a little bit more prominent and play around with that. You have something called right on, and if I drag it, you see that the text disappears. So one thing I can do is keyframing. Let me show you how to do that. So I will take it down and click that keyframe. So it is recorded at this point that the right on is 2.0. Then I go to where I want to increase it and increase it all the way up. So I have a starting point and I have an ending point. What will happen is between those points, Davinci will cause an animation, and that is what we have here. So to cause an animation, you just use keyframes. Of course, you have the option of going to Fusion here for the boys that want to play big. But in general, you have a lot of options with text.